Higher family. Today I wanted to speak with you about my out of body experience. I've had several out of body traveling experiences, but this one was different from the rest. So I wanted to start with this one. So generally, when I okay, let me start by saying this. I don't believe that I've mastered it. So I'm going to, full disclosure, I'm going to start right there. But I've went several times, so it gets better every time you go. You get more light. Because when I first started and realized that's what I was doing, that I was leaving and going to a different realm or dimension, it could be like really dark around you. It's like a haze or a fogginess of darkness that's cloaked around you. Like you can see, but it's like hard to see outside of the parameter of what you're looking at when you're in the place that you go to. But this particular time, what I'm speaking about today, was different. So I believe I had gotten better because this one had more light. I don't know if I called more light or how I got more light because I went so many times. I can't say why it was more light there, but it was a little more illuminated than the other places that I went. I could clearly see much better when I went to this particular place, than the other places. So okay, so the start is like this. So I went, I guess I can't say like lifting out of my body. I didn't remember that part. But I know once I got to the place where I was walking into it's like a building or a place. It's like I know I had just entered into the doors to this place, like to a building, right? And when I walked in, it gave me the feeling as if I was in like a factory. It gave you that type of factory feel when I was there. And so as I'm walking in, again, because there's more light this time than the other times, and I could see like there were levels. Like I walked in these double doors and I could tell someone was coming up behind me or to my right here, like walking behind me, but I never turned around to see who that was. But I could sense someone is coming up behind me to come walk with me, right? And so as I'm walking in, I'm like doing my looking to the left, looking to the right, and I'm looking up, and now I can see that it's tiers, it's levels. Like I'm on the lower level, it's another top tier level up above me. And so I'm looking up and looking around. And then as I'm looking to one side, I could hear a voice and I hear someone yell, particularly to the person that was like I said, I sensed someone coming up to my right, coming behind me. And I heard that person say, as I'm looking around, scoping out where I am, right? I hear that person say in a strong voice, like, how did she get in here? Who let her in here? How did she get in here, right? In a stern voice. And then as I hear this, like that person was like up to the left on that second tier. So I hear them yell, how did she get in here? Who let her in here, right? And then as I'm looking around, it goes, get her back. No, I'm sorry. It says, make sure she gets back to church. Right? I don't make it make sense. I don't know. So the voice said, make sure she gets back to church. And then I can feel the person, like I said, that was coming up behind me to the right. They started to like, as if they wanted to touch me or direct me. I don't know if they physically touched me, but I can hear them saying like, come, we must go. Like, come, we need to go, like that. And then so I was starting to like follow their lead to turn to walk back out of this place. And then like, because that person up on that top tier was, like I said, they was like upset that I came there. So I'm gonna run it back fast. It actually went like this. How did she get in here? Who let her in here? Make sure she gets back to church. And then I'm hearing that, and as I turn to see, and then full disclosure, he said, which I'm not gonna say because I don't want to get flagged by YouTube. He said the N word, right? And he said, make sure she gets back to the mill, the N word mill. I know. And when he said the N word and then mill, like mill, I turned to look to like see who had just said that, right? Because I'm that color, so when I hear it, it offends me. So I was like, I'm saying to myself, I know, like even in a dream, I'm saying like what I would say in the waking life. I know he didn't just say what I think he just said. So I turned like to look to see who actually was saying that word, who said that, and why did they say it like that? Like, okay, it's one thing that I'm in a place where I'm not supposed to be, right? I don't know how I got in there, got in that place, but I came in that place. And then that person goes, who is, like, how did she get in here? Who let her in here? Make sure she gets back to church. Make sure she gets back to the mill. And when I looked, I was like, who said that? And I turned to see this person that was like, again, up on this top tier on the second level of like a balcony, second floor thing. And they were looking down at me. And when I turned and made eye contact with them, it was like this white male, full disclosure, this white male, and he had this look in his eye, like very stern, like this, like be I kill you, you know, that kind of look. And it was looking sternly at me, and I caught his eye, like as I'm like, who just said that to me? And we made eye contact, and he looked sternly at me like, if you don't get your, you know, that's the feel of the look. So the person, whoever it was, I never really saw who they were, but I knew it was another being there. They had, at this time, I'm like turning like, and they got me on up out of there. And then it's like I said, as I would turn, I was saying, I know he didn't say what I think he just said. And then that person that was there said, come on, come, we must go. Like, let's go. All right. And then so I got up out of there. And then it's like, once I got up out of there, and it was like really in the emotion that this person just called me the N word and told me to get back to church, get back to the mill. And I'm like, no, that did not just happen. No. But it did. And you can believe it or not believe it, but once I start telling you about all of my other experiences, you'll see. But this one right here, to have them have a place where there's a realm, where there's a factory type place, where they're in that place and they see people of my color and they're not afraid to say the N word, right? So to make you understand why I'm making this video, you have to understand the revelation is that the religions are ran by these beings. All of them. No one's religion is excluded. All of them. Right? You have to understand also that you are a being of light. energy. You're connected to source. Consider yourself a form of the purest energy, living, breathing energy that's in existence. You are essentially pure energy, right? So when you gather in these places, because we are stronger together, and if we do put our power and our thoughts, emotions, will together, it's unstoppable. Which is, not to go really into biblical stuff, but think of the Tower of Babel, how they were on one accord, they were in one mind, and because there was the fear of them actually accomplishing the impossible, they got separated like that because they didn't want to see them accomplish the impossible by coming together and being on one accord. But I'm saying that to say, you are worshiping a being outside of yourself. You're doing it in a centralized location. All of you are coming collected together, praising and worshiping. Where do you think that energy and that power, that praise and that worship is going? It's going to all of these, what you can just conceptualize them as the energy vampires. The overlords, the overseers. Yes, they run your church. Basically, you don't have discernment like you think you have discernment. I'm just going to say it, right? Because you have to realize that these beings, they have the ability to cloak their energy. So you're not going to come up on someone and it's going to be, oh, I hate you, and you can feel it. They're more tactful than that. They're more cunning than that. So you're not just going to feel love, like, or hate, or whatever coming from them. They know how to cloak their energy. But the fact is, one of the reasons why I'll continue. One of the reasons why I left the church, I don't want to be a part of feeding these entities. And also, the Bible, yes, there is some good information in the Bible. Yes, there is some timeless and true principles that can stand the test of time. That's absolutely true. But the whole Bible itself is misinformation. It's distorted. It's just simply not true like that. There are little bitty pieces of the truth woven into that. That's the hook. I'm going to give you a little bit of truth to hook you up in here. But to travel to a place and to get this revelation, and again, I'm not saying that if you go to a realm and every realm they're doing this for every race of people. I'm saying for me and for my knowledge and my experience, because of my color of skin, I was supposed to have that experience. I was supposed to get that revelation. I was supposed to go and see what's behind the scenes, right? Because of my color, my race. So full disclosure, I don't know if they're calling Hispanics, Mexicans, white people, whatever color you are, whatever race you are, if there is a place or a realm or a dimension where they're calling you a racial slur and saying "mill" at the end for your church, right? Because that is boldly what I'm moving intention and saying to you. There is a realm where it's known that you are being gathered together, my people, black churches, and they're calling you the N-word mill because they see it as a factory processing of not just your souls, but your energy, right? Your energy. because we are still connected to source, right? And here's the thing. If you believe with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your soul, with all your body that you love God, and you're reading the Bible and you think you're serving the one true living God, how powerful is that energy and that connection? Now, whether you're caught up in the midst of serving that God of the Bible, which is not the true God, but you are thinking you are serving the true God, source, and yet you're running by that information from the Bible. So this is a safe place, right? Because I was you. I totally believe with all my heart. Minister in training, ready to be the one preaching and pastoring to you on the path, right? But to get the awakening, to get the revelation, to get the understanding, to travel to a realm or a dimension, however you want to call it, to see behind the scenes, to have the understanding that it's not what we think it is. They are absolutely using it for their advantage. They are absolutely having you gather together, taking your energy, because that's how they feed. Because if you and I are still connected to source, we're tapped in, we're tuned in, tapped in. We can get that energy. We're connected. Now, whether we are serving true source or we're under the illusion that we are, still doesn't stop our true connection with source, right? So I say that to say this: you're on the right path, you're doing the right thing, you're just doing right wrong, right? So someone's taking advantage of your connection, of you wanting to be with source, wanting to serve God, wanting to go to this place where they're saying it's going to be heaven, right? So I'm not here to tell you to leave your God or do anything like that. I just wanted to share my experience, because behind the curtain, your church is known as the inward meal. And you are there to provide energy for these beings. Because they are no longer, when the fallen fell, they lost their connection. So your angels are your demons, right? And if you don't have true discernment who you are truly serving, then hey. And I hate to tell you the truth, but all churches, all religions are run by demon lords. That's their religion that they created. That's the truth. So no, I'm not going back to the inward meal. That's what they call it. Inward meal. Look at the definition of meal. It's like a factory. They consider your church a factory. These are factories where we collect energy. Not only we can get their soul, try to steal their souls from them, but they can provide us with the energy that we're no longer tapped in, tuned in with, because we are not connected to source anymore. These people are. We need them. That's what's happening. That's what I wanted to share. I'm going to leave it right there. I stopped going to church for several reasons. But since I traveled and figured that out and found that information out, ain't no way. Not going to happen. I will not be providing energy freely to these beings. Talking about get her back to the meal. Not today. So remember, you are love. You'll get to the right information because your higher soul wants you to get there. So if this video found you, you called it to you. Seriously. That's how powerful your energy is. It draws what you want, where you are in your consciousness, and it brings it to you. So again, remember, love yourself. Give yourself the grace. Forgive yourself. You have to know that you are worthy. You're not a filthy rag. You are worthy. Know that you are worthy. Give yourself a break. Give yourself some grace. Forgive yourself. You're just on your soul's journey. And we're all students. And as we grow, we're going to keep getting more information and more information so that we can make the right decisions and elevate to our highest potential, what we're supposed to be at. Right? So take that and be at peace with that. But I had to tell you. I couldn't not walk in love with you and not tell you. Hey, somebody's got to tell the truth. I guess it's me. So with that, stay calm, right? And if you're having experiences and, with these entities and it's been a spiritual battle, stay calm. Love yourself. Understand that you're not crazy. So since you're not crazy and you're not the only one, don't hurt yourself. And remember, don't hurt your family. They're your legacy. Don't hurt your neighbors. They're just a different reflection of you in the earth. So be at peace. And until the next time, I love you. See you in the next one. All right. Hope that helps. Bye.